Hi guys, it's Peter again. Thank you for watching and thank you for my wife helping me film this. Today I want to cover how many Americans become millionaire at all. So we're going to put more emphasis in United States of America. So depending on other countries, it might be easier, it might be most definitely harder. But I still do believe, as of right now, I don't know tomorrow, America might be, don't want to say easy, but sure, like easiest way for a person to become millionaire. So anyone who got a chance or blessing, just like me, to move here and live here with a proper visa, we should not take that lightly because a lot of people would do anything still in 2026 to be here in America. But I think things are kind of changing slowly. Um, America is not as hot as it used to be, definitely 10, 20 years ago. But still, we have highest hope, in my opinion. Okay, so I did some research. Um, I think it's somewhat accurate, not just as in numbers, but in my experience for 33 years of my life and meeting like a real life millionaire through my work and stuff. Um, so without further ado, roughly 3% of Americans are millionaire at a given time. And over a lifetime, your chance becomes higher. I think that's, in my opinion, subjective. Obviously, if you're lazy bum and don't want to roll up your sleeve and ask with just waiting for a handout, no, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna be a millionaire. It's as harsh as that is. Starting from poverty drastically lowers the odds. Anyone out there, just like me, third generation cycle of poverty, you guys, including myself, we are gonna have a really hard time to become millionaire. But please, do not lose hope. I haven't lost hope. We are gonna do it. I told you many times, guys. Money is good. Okay, sure. You'd be nice to make money from this YouTube channel, but no, I'm actually also doing this really because I am so frustrated. I hate the system. How when you're at, like depth that depth of cycle of poverty, it's almost hard to beat the system. But come on, guys. Let's not quit. If I haven't given up, oh, you shouldn't either. And especially those of you who had more blessing than me, financially speaking, growing up. I'm sorry, you have no excuse. Starting poverty drastically lowers the odds. If you born in the bottom 20%, only 4% reach the top 20%. Now, that's not equating to being a millionaire. No, just because you grew up poor and then you somehow managed to become a top 20%, no, that doesn't mean you have become millionaire. Poverty tends to persist across generations. Around 45%, okay, let's round up. 50% born at the bottom stay there. That's you flip a coin. It's literally just like a 50-50. You born poor, chances are you're going to be poor. That's that's really sad. Childhood poverty significantly increases the odds of staying poor into adulthood. So before even talking about wealth like we are right now, many do not escape poverty at all. Guys, I am not going to lie to you. Uh, I have officially escaped the poverty. Those of you who've been watching my videos, my net worth pre-tax is about $400,000. Oh no, not rich at all. No, very far from rich, right? Because we have discussed the rich, quote unquote, real definition is being a decamil. That's $10 million. But at least $400,000 for someone like me is like some milestone. So definitely, I am not in poverty anymore. But in order for me to get to this point, was just nonstop work. It was just a slavery work. 6 to 7 days, broken back, broken shoulder, broken hamstring, whatever. Divorce or mental trauma, somebody died, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Guys, it didn't matter. I had to go work. And that's how I did it. There was absolute no excuse. I had to execute. I hope I hope you guys don't do this way because it was really a lot of sacrifice and I regret a lot, but that's how I did it. And I feel like, a lot of people talk so much shit about Generation Z. There are certain parts I agree, but one thing I will tell you, if you are watching and you're a Generation Z, younger generation, I think you guys are smarter than us in certain way. You guys have a gut to find like a better way to make money. Okay, I don't want to say easy way. Okay, but you guys do have a brain capacity to try to figure out a better, suitable way than what I did. So I just wanted to say that to Generation Z out there, and I really hope whoever is trying to break poverty, I hope you guys don't have to do what I did because it was really gruesome. But if that's what it takes, you gotta do it. Most millionaires, however, good news is most millionaires are self-made. Guys, this is really good news. About 79 to 88%. Guys, that's on average B, like in grade system, right? Millionaire did not inherit wealth. Guys, that alone is a good news to us, okay? More than 50%, 80% plus who are millionaire, it wasn't because daddy's money. Not because your grandfather, left you trust fund. That's really good news. And it proves upward movement does happen, even if it's rare. Excuse me, guys. Putting it all together. Okay, about 3% American become millionaire. Only about 4% of poor kids reach high income brackets. That does not equate to being a millionaire. And wealth building requires sustained high income discipline. I want to say this one more time. Wealth building requires sustained high income and discipline. I think that's especially true for people like us, generational poverty. So for poor people, that's why I emphasis on income power. It's really important because you don't have any net worth. Your parents don't have any net worth. Your connection is shit. I am so sorry. You know poor people. Left, right, front, back, top, bottom. It's poor people around you. What are they going to talk about? Poor stuff. You think my family talked about stock market? No, I got introduced so late. You think I knew about real estate? No, we never owned one. And there's a really importance, how important it is for children to be so exposed so early on about this stuff. Yes, yes. Yes, there are rich kids who, becoming junkie, and lose all daddy's money. Yeah, but the fact that they're being exposed about money is so important, and poor people don't have that, unfortunately. So you have to protect your body. If you're someone like me, you gotta protect your body. That means try not to have a shoulder injury, try not to have a back injury, because your body in the beginning stage of wealth is the most important asset. It's the weapon. Your body. You gotta work. You can't get sick. You can't get cold. You gotta try drink less. You gotta try smoke less. You gotta try to party less. Sounds all unfair, right? Well, life was unfair. So what are you gonna do? Just do more bad stuff, like that drunkard in the Little Prince, the book? No, no, we're not gonna do that. We accepted that we were unfair. But okay, then how about this perspective? How about the kids in like a country like Sudan? They have no chance, almost no chance, no offense. And we have so much more chance than them. So think of it that way. So your body is the only weapon, and our connection is going to be really shitty. That's why you have to protect your body because it's your weapon, income weapon, when we're poor. And discipline, high income plus discipline. So we need a high income when you start very poor. So please take care of your body because it's a money producing machine, your body, and you need a discipline because discipline is the one of the only key that's going to make you get up in the morning when you don't want to, go to work when you fight with your husband and wife, or go to work with a broken back because your mission is bigger than your back. Okay, to the point where you're not jeopardizing entire health. Okay, so another video, I told you the importance of exercising is because it creates discipline. So those of you who are watching, if you haven't exercised today, unless you have a legitimate reason like a torn tendons like me, guys, start squatting like at home. It will create momentum. Start moving, guys. I'm serious. Like we have to move. Okay, start squatting, do some push-ups, and then that's gonna get you do more movements. So reasonable estimate for someone from multi-generation poverty: zero point 0.5 to 2% chance becoming millionaire. That's an average of 1.25. To put you in perspective, that's 1 in 80 people. So we'll be conservative. We'll be conservative. That's 1 in 100. So imagine, guys, I'll just use this as a hypothetical example. We're in a room and there are 100 people. Just think of it like we have to out bench them, or we have to out curl them, we have to out squat them, we have to out deadlift. And I noticed that from YouTube and analytics, is that how you say it? That many of the viewers are around my age, about 25 to 35, and 97 plus are males, not much female. I actually want to talk importance about this. It's actually sad that women, based on statistics, and this is my assumption, I hope I am wrong. It sounds like many women aren't so interested about financial literacy as men. And that's actually really, really the core issue, in my opinion. I actually learned this from evolutionary biology. Sorry, I'm getting off track. There's a K limit in study of biology where resources are limited, where our overpopulation is really the number one killing thing in the world right now. We're killing so many other species because of overpopulation. And you guys might laugh. Anyone watch the Avenger Infinity War? Exactly, Thanos is right. I know his method was effed up, but resource is limited. Only if it was that easy, right? Killing half of the population. Can you just imagine how much more resources we have? And I'm gonna tell you, one thing we have to do is get women educated. Women need to be educated so they don't have baby. I'm so sorry. You could argue, but this is not a joke. Men don't pop out baby. It's women. When women are educated, go to high school, go to college, grad school, whatever, they're more inclined to postpone the baby. They're more inclined to have a baby less. And they will take care of that baby better, hypothetically speaking. Okay? I know it's not always the case. But let's not lie to ourselves. Look at Europe. Look at Europe and some other continent. Europe has highest where women receive educations, uh, live way better than other continent. So action speaks louder. So that's a one topic we'll discuss. A woman needs to be educated. It's just really important. Going back to what I was saying, so it's about 1.25%. Guys, it's pretty hard to, in 100 men, 80 people, or 100 people, you gotta bench the most, you gotta curl the most, you gotta squat the most, you gotta deadlift the most. It is hard. But is it impossible? Hell no. Nothing is impossible. There's a chance. It's not impossible. I just want to really let you guys know that. It will be hard, but it is not impossible. That's where people get it wrong. It is structurally hard. Not just your mindset. It is structurally hard. things work against someone in third generation poverty. No financial safe net. There is no plan B. You invest something wrong, you buy something wrong, your business fail or whatever, you got laid off, you can't do, hey dad, no. Where is he? He doesn't have money. Hey mom, she's tired, she's been working 2 jobs. Or vice versa. Hey brother, he's busy too. He's trying to figure out same thing you as you do. So there is no plan B. I don't have a plan B. It sucks. It really does. But it's not impossible. You're alive. Okay? Your plan A is still alive. I'm alive. My plan A is still working. Lower access to education opportunities. Okay. Be glad we're in USA. Some country don't have YouTube. Mama, is it true that in Russia you guys don't have YouTube right now at the moment? Yeah, it's true. Some countries don't have access to this. Can you imagine that? Yes, I am just even lower than amateur, trying to give average Joes like me some useful insight and help each other. Some country cannot have access to minority mindset. Some countries don't have access to watching Dave Ramsey. Like people who actually legit like made it and give us advice. They're completely financially illiterate. We're not the case. So if you're in the USA, guys, please let's stop the excuse. I'm serious. Fewer higher income networks. Okay. Who you know matters a lot. I try to cover this to you, I think 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Uh there's only so much I can do, you can do. Um there's so much our discipline can take. I do work hard. I'm not trying to be cocky. I am not trying to be egocentric. I did work hard. But my body is getting old. I am getting hurt easily. And each time my motivation, I feel it drops a bit. So recently, what I've been trying to do is grow my connections more, try to be nicer to people, try to be actively connect with people who worked harder than me, who accomplished more than me. Okay, um, and always try to ask for criticism from them and see if there's a useful insight I could learn and pick on. So who you know matters a lot. So I put an emphasis, even though it's the hardest topic I covered because I grew up so poor and everyone around me was poor. We have to grow our connections. It's a world we live in where you just can't do it alone. It's 2026. It's not 1950. Things are getting harder. Anybody who graduated grad school would know, right? It wasn't easy to get a job right away, right? So who you know matters, guys. And higher risk of setbacks wiping progress. Okay. Risk equals potential reward. Does not equal reward. Risk equals potential reward. Okay. I told you guys my personal example. The very first time I saved my $100,000, this is before I knew about investing, but I heard about crypto and stuff. I had $100,000 sitting in U.S. Bank, and I think I told you guys. I remember calling my ex girlfriend at the time, 3 hours over the phone. This is when Bitcoin was about $16,000. It used to be like 64, 65, and it dropped down to 16 over some time. And I remember telling her, all trillion cells in my body, literally screaming, Peter, you gotta put that money in here. You gotta put that $100,000 here. Yes, I told you. My one of my boss and mentor Benjamin says, "Hey, don't think that way. Maybe future would have been different if you did do it." But no, we all know it was gonna grow, but I just couldn't. One, it was the only money I had. It was the only money my family had. My mom couldn't help if something were to happen. My brother, no. My dad, I don't even know where he was at that time. It was the only money I had. There was no plan B. There was no backup. It was the only thing I had. And I worked my ass off to get that money. So my fear kicked in so much. Higher risk of setbacks wiping the progress. I honestly think if I lost 100,000, I'm not sure. I think I wouldn't. I would not have gotten to where I am right now. I feel it. It was too much. The deeper truth. This is what a lot of people miss. Even though odds are really low, the majority of millionaires are not born rich. But sure, they're usually not also from multi generation poverty. They usually come from middle class. Average Americans, so it's middle class, 3% chance becoming millionaire. People from poverty, about 1%. People from multi generation poverty, likely less than 1%. Sounds actually really depressing. Reading this is depressing. I probably had to put more work, personally, in my opinion, than people who came from middle class. Even people who started from nothing but had a financial background, like parents gave them some insight how to invest at such a young age. I'm not saying they didn't work hard. It's just I had to figure out alone more than them. Uh, but guys, little less than 1% is still a chance, and I just wanna. I wrote this down to read to you guys. Um, I know it is depressing. It is depressing. It has been depressing how far I come. But no, I was blessed enough to still be in America. I was blessed enough to have my wife supporting me all through this time. So I want to read you guys something. Most people hear less than 1% chance and they think it's over. And we gotta hear that's good, actually, because that means we still have a chance. Let's be real for 1 second. You being here right now, watching this video, most likely means you're in America, alive, breathing, seeing, hearing, thinking. That already beat inside odds. You made it to this world. Out of everything that could have happened, you're here. I'll tell you right now, winning lottery has less chance than you and I becoming millionaire. Uh, being born has way less chance. I'm gonna tell you again. Being born is way less chance than us being millionaire. This isn't like winning lottery. This is not random. This is something you can actually influence. Average person might only have tiny shot, but average person does not stay consistent, does not learn high income skills, does not take the real risk, quits when it gets uncomfortable. So why would you compare yourself to the average? Because even though we born below average, our dream is to be above average. Lotus of control. I want you guys, including myself, when you wake up, or not necessarily when you wake up, hopefully when you wake up, every time you're in the restroom after going shower or restroom, whatever, look at yourself in the mirror for like good seconds and tell yourself, I'm going to become a millionaire. I just haven't figured out exactly how. And even if I figured out, maybe I'll take some detour, but I want you to tell yourself, get a habit of telling yourself, looking yourself in the mirror without blinking, I'm going to become a millionaire. Please, let's start saying that 10 times a day. Lotus of control. Okay, you become what you say. 1% includes everyone who never even tried properly. Your job isn't to hope you're lucky. Your job is to stop being average. Stop think like below average. Because moment you stack the right habits, put yourself in better environment, stay disciplined when others quit, and you're willing to do what others are unwilling to do, you're not playing with 1% odds anymore. You're increasing it every single year. There's no different. You go gym consistently. There will be times where you get injured. There will be times where you hit plateau. But if you do it over years, it's upward linear trend. Okay? So maybe odds are low, but it's still possible. And we have this life. Next one is not guaranteed, but if you're watching this, you're blinking, and you're hearing this, we are alive. So we have a shot, guys. So let's go all in, even with small chance. Then guarantee failure. Let's go all in, even with this small chance. Then guaranteed failure by never trying at all. That's what Tony Stark did, right? After Doctor Strange, like gave him a look. One in something million chance. Well, it's a movie. I'm sure they made it to motivate us. But if it's only a movie and never happens in real life, we would have never heard those people who exist actually being homeless, becoming millionaire, breaking third cycle generation cycle poverty to become millionaire. So exists, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't exist. Chances are low, but it is possible. So let's try before we die. So we could die not as a coward, as a literally warrior that we tried. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.